graduate, May 9th, 2013. And I am still affiliated with them because I believe in their program and I support um, the program. And I believe that it can be a life-changing um, endeavor for someone. Anyway, I'll start on the presentation. And also I'd like to say, I kind of tried to remember what my presentation would entail, and I just totally lost everything. So I'll speak from my heart because it's the best way to conduct a presentation. I feel very grateful and I'm humbled and privileged to present the Justice Living Experience Advisory Group, because this group of people are people with heart, with grit. They've lived their life in truth and are here to voice themselves and make a change within our community. So I am blessed to be a part amongst them. Okay, so okay, sorry guys, trying to share my screen here. Okay, are you seeing just one panel? Yes, okay. Thank you. Okay. So here's a little history on J-League. In late 2022, Going Home Hawaii contracted public safety and police reform consultant Liam Chin to begin work with committee chairs and key consortium partners to build and strengthen our collective impact through meaningful strategies and activities. The Going Home Hawaii strategy map was developed. Collectively, we established 6 strategies. Through Strategy 5, foster justice, involve individuals, leadership, and shift public narrative to destigmatize, J-League was born. We began monthly meetings in February of 2024. Who are we? We are a collective of individuals with firsthand experience in the justice system. Our purpose is to eliminate stigma and enhance outcomes for justice-involved people. By elevating our voices, we aim to foster meaningful change in policies, systems, and our communities. We envision a justice system that is equitable, restorative, and community-centered. You know, we've all been arrested, incarcerated, and in the judicial system. Since the initial group members have been out of the system for quite some time, we recently started recruiting new members with ideal candidates with recent to current judicial status. And once again, I say these individuals are the most honest and sincere people that you can come across. Our purpose is to serve to provide valuable lived experience, insights, and perspectives, contributing to the efforts of the consortium aimed at improving outcomes for justice-involved individuals. We have been through the system and understand the challenges, the adversity, the climb from the bottom of the hill, the effort it takes to reestablish our lives and overcome society's label on a convicted felon. Our purpose allows our voice to be heard. It allows us a seat at the table to provide truth, to share the personal hardships that we have endured, and to take part in seeking solutions for our community. And, I just want to mention that back in 2007, I believe, I was in the Ponoha Viola program, and that is a transitional housing that was located across of the Central Fire Station, and Les was the director there. So I was a client in his program, and I recall he taking me and another individual to a consortium meeting, and that was held at the Kinaole conference room. And I sat there and I remember telling myself, what am I doing here? These are all key decision makers. What do I have to say? What input do I have to give that's valuable, or that they would even consider listening too. So, a lot has changed, and I today, like Les mentioned, that lived experience people are valuable. They are experts, and they deserve a seat at the table because they've lived it. And who can give better input and insight on their journey than themselves? Why lived experience matters, and of course, like I mentioned, real life experience, having authentic insights into systemic challenges. And then, of course, a huge part of it is advocacy for justice, reform, and policy, and also advocating for each other, for the population that we're from and the generation today. Our story is not made up, it is a true documentary of struggle, perseverance, and endurance, and for many, success. We can relate to others because of the commonalities, the journey, the shared feelings, and we understand and we don't judge. So I just wanted to point out some of the challenges in today that we see and we hear of. Um, and of course, even back then, years ago when I was incarcerated, that was always a problem. HC overcrowded, in need of more services and programs. And of course, relocating out of state. And I was one of the individuals that did my time in the state of Kentucky because of women's WCCC being overcrowded. Some of the other challenges in today's day and age is the stigma, of course, barriers to housing, access to healthcare, employment opportunities, transportation, government issued identification, and family reunification. And all of these challenges, it's within our executive communities that we're addressing and seeking solutions. So, yes, and also how can we address those challenges that I mentioned? And that's through collaboration with key decision makers, relationships with our state and county officials that could lead to policy recommendations, supporting legislation. We One of our members, Trillium, she's been monitoring legislation sessions and informing us of certain bills that we feel we could provide testimony, whether it's written, verbal, or in person. And one of our community partners, Grayson, HB 727, the 3-year Women's Court Pilot Program in Maui and Kauai with Hilo and Big Island Drug Court establishing a blueprint for the Women's Court Pilot Program. So he's kept me informed on that, and that is our role as J-League to provide support and advocate for things we believe in. Sorry. Other things that J-League could um, be involved with are community initiatives, sharing personal success stories, and of course, mentoring. So I believe that action speaks louder than words. Sharing about your success story, it takes courage and is outstanding. However, you know, actually walking the talk is a resolution to your testament. And I believe that members of J League, they do, and they're out there, they're providing services to our community and just being available, suiting up and showing up. Here are some of our highlights that we've been working on as part of our tracking sheet goals. So we've been involved in a monthly digital campaign where we would feature one of the members maybe a month or maybe every 2 months. So this was from last year, Second Chance Month, and ongoing after that. So here we have Kristen, Michelle, Zena, and Trillium. And so like social media, that's the platform that helps bring awareness and promotes, who we are. and can be, used in so many different levels. Other highlights, we attended the 2025 Pu'uhonua Summit that was held in February of this year at the Hawaii Community College, sponsored by the Administration of Justice Club. One of our members participated as a guest speaker and shared her journey and her hopes and dreams and success. And here we have a picture here with other community partners. Other initiatives and events in 2024, 5 members of J-League participated in the High Fuse Advisory Group sessions. They were included in the development of the data and program design working groups with the Corporation for Supportive Housing. The inclusion of people with lived experience was non-negotiable per the contract, as it would enrich and strengthen the project. Another community event that two of our J-League members participated in was the in-person hiring event sponsored by the American Job Center and Department of Labor, held at the Pritzker Hill Plaza. The effort there was if a justice-involved person was present, and another justice-involved person was wanted to inquire, it would give make him or her feel a little bit more comfortable in approaching and inquiring about what the event's goal and objective was. So collaboration with partners. So of course, our key partnerships are within the consortium, and that's with the different agencies and individuals that make up the consortium. And through that cross-committee collaboration, it would allow discussions that justice involved are faced with an opportunity for solutions. Joint efforts, committee and community initiatives. We have an ongoing conversation with the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation to be part of an advisory group. So we've met with the DEP A, DEP C, and DEP R, and we've been keeping in touch. Their intention is to develop an advisory group, and they believe that persons with lived experience can enlighten us on what it's like to go through the system and can identify, gaps in our policies and practices that inadvertently impact both individuals incarcerated and their families. Other key efforts would be participation in community resource events and public awareness. And then, of course, our alignment with the sequential intercept model. So mahalo to Liam and Dan Mistak for assisting in aligning J-League's strategic priorities with the Hawaii Island SIM. And I'll just go over a few points on that based on the one-pager that Dan provided. And that would be number 1, shifting public perception and investment. And that would actually be a cross-intercept impact. The actionable opportunity there would be to launch a multimedia campaign, videos, digital postcards, social media highlights, which we're already doing, featuring success stories to humanize lived experiences and showcase thriving post-entry. Number 2, enhancing cross-committee collaboration, and that would align with Intercept 0 through 5. The actionable opportunity would be to establish regular lived experience presentations at other Going Home Hawaii committee meetings to integrate justice-involved insights into policy and program development. And number 3, expanding reentry support and peer mentorship. And we just had that discussion with Amanda during the Justice Partners breakout session. So we're going to hook up regarding that. That would be pertaining to Intercepts 4 and 5 and the actionable opportunity, develop a formal network of justice-involved mentors and peer support specialists to guide individuals through post-release challenges and resource navigation. So here we go with our future goals and vision. And these were, like I mentioned earlier, developed when we uh, created the strategy map, and then J-League was born, and then we set some goals and short-term and long-term goals. So one of our short-term goals is to the public opinion shifts to investing in community solutions versus incarceration. And by doing that, by doing certain objectives, some goals to achieve that, it would include storytelling and outreach methods, sharing testimony in public spaces, provide stronger empathetic connections. We aim that our committees have increased understanding of specific challenges that justice involved encounter. So through cross-committee attendance, we are able to give input as a justice involved individual and increase connections to resources for justice involved individuals. So how we can do that is by attending community partner hosted and resource events, and become a mentor. And through the efforts, we hope to achieve the longer term goals, which we all hope for, and that's jail and prison population decrease. There is a reduction in recidivism, and there is no relocation to outer states. That is kind of, large, huge goals, but, with our efforts in making some change here and there, hopefully that's attainable. So at the moment, we have 9 members in our group, and we really, we want to expand and even have others from other islands be part of our initiative here. Sorry, I take that back. Number 5 is Hawaii base. So excuse that, scratch that. So our eligibility criteria for J-League membership is, of course, number 1, lived experience. Must have personal experience with the justice system, formerly incarcerated, those involved in probation, parole, or diversion programs. Number 2, commitment to reentry and recovery. Should be dedicated to supporting others transitioning back into the community and improving reentry services. 3, active participation. We hope that, we expect to engage in meetings, discussions, and advocacy efforts that align with the Going Home Hawaii's mission. Collaboration and leadership. Willingness to share insights, mentor others, and contribute to systemic change. And number 5, Hawaii base. Preference is given to individuals from Hawaii Island, as J-League is part of Going Home Hawaii's local reentry initiatives. So if anyone is interested and you are Hawaii based, please reach out to me. My email, I'll provide my email in the chat. And of course, you could always call our office if you just want to speak or schedule a meeting. So this is a quote that I strongly believe in. Your past does not define you. And I mean, it's common, but it's true, and I believe in it. And I hope to inspire others and hope to make a change within our community. At this moment, I'd like to invite other members of JD to share some final thoughts.
Hi, everybody. Good job, Mimi. I just wanted to say, I think what Les said earlier about lived experience is the motivator and the driver for the work we do. That's very true. And I think being part of J League just isn't about sharing where we've been. It's about using our experiences to make it better for the next people coming in and the people that we serve. And then